Okay, Gaia. Sorry about that. Where was I?
You were telling a story.
Right. Yeah, so, like I was saying, it was a children's electronics kit, but I hacked the wiring to an auto battery and solar PV. So the grass caught fire. And, so did a tall pine that had stood there, I don't know, maybe 100 years.
Query. You were how old?
6. My mother was home, thank God, so she called the fire department, and after, she took me out to the lawn and showed me the dead baby birds, because there were nests in the pine tree.
Query. What did you feel?
I'm not sure. I remember yelling that I didn't care, and that's when my mother took my face in her hands and spoke.
Query. What did she say?
She said I had to care. She said, Elizabeth, being smart will count for nothing if you don't make the world better. You have to use your smarts to count for something. To serve life, not death.
You often tell stories of your mother, but you are childless.
I never had time. Guess it was for the best.
If you had had a child, Elizabeth, what would you have wished for him or her?
I guess I would have wanted her to be curious. And willful, unstoppable, even. But with enough compassion to heal the world. Just a little bit. Anyway, that's all I've got for now, Gaia. Time to tuck in.
I wish you a pleasant sleep, Elizabeth.
Thank you. I'll catch you tomorrow.
What are you doing, Aloy? This path leads to the cut. The Banuk have nothing to offer besides useless mysticism. The Eclipse won't stand idle while you waste time playing in the snow. Return to your desk.
Surprised you're still checking up on me. I thought you had moved on.
Well, forgive me for still being concerned with the fate of the world.
I was thinking, Banuk shamans thread blue cables through their skin, right? Kind of like someone else we know, huh? So maybe the real reason you want me to stay clear of the Banuk is to stay clear of your past.
It's not the past that concerns me, Aloy. It's the future. Or possible lack thereof. Which is why you should stop prattling and get back to what matters. But as usual, you do as you wish.
Touchy.
You sure you'll be warm enough up here, Nora?
I've worked up a sweat from the climb.
To the cut, Outlander.
Not that you'll stay long.
This is Song's Edge, biggest settlement in the cut.
These are dangerous lands, Outlander. Deadly, even.
Smoke rises up in the mountain. The village, too.
We must put our faith in him.
Must be something big going on. Most of the village is moving towards that smoke.
Get ready for a rare sight, Nora. Bergrind, purveyor of necessities. Most of the time, the Banuk burn their dead. But not today.
Because the bodies couldn't be recovered.
Aye, a nasty business. All their best warriors lost. So they're getting a different kind of send-off.
Grasp your grief, my hunters, and kill it! For our kin sees the fate all Banuk long for. Falling with their spears striking steel. Their struggle is over now. You have witnessed their spirits rise up into the blue sky and beyond to the blue light. But our struggle is only beginning. Soon, we will again take up the hunt against the daemon that frenzies the machines against us. And so I ask you, can you summon the courage of our fallen kin? Will you fight and die as well as they did?
My courage! My spear!
Our blood is in your teeth, Aratak!
We are Banuk. Our enemies are prey.
The daemon. That frenzies the machines.
Machines that wiped out their best. And what do they want to do? Go back up there. Fools. A little advice, for free.
Aloy.
Aloy. I've been up here for 2 long winters, and I still can't make sense of the Banuk. Take this ruckus. It started with one of their shamans, Aurea, spouting on about spirits and daemons up on Thunder's drum. So they march their Warwick up there, and half of them get slaughtered by machines. When Aurea vanished, I thought the crazy might have gone with her, but no. Here's Big Aratak, gearing them up to do it all over again.
Sense of.
Well, everything's a test to them. A hardship to endure. A challenge to survive.
Seems like they don't have much of a choice in a place like this.
Yeah. A land cold enough to crack teeth, filled with wild animals. You'd think they'd accept a little reasonably priced aid. Oh, believe me, I've tried to convince them. But a Banuk with nothing left to prove might just lie down and die.
Have you ever heard of a man named Silence? Tall, deadly serious, cables in his skin. Like a shaman?
I've heard that name once or twice, but always whispered. Like some boogeyman the Banuk want to forget. I'm not sure what went down, but I got the impression he messed with the Conclave. Or they messed with him.
Conclave?
All the most important shamans gather in Banur from time to time to keep up with the latest mumbo-jumbo. No idea how they all fit into one tent without those crazy headdresses getting locked up on each other. Araya's been to that shindig, but when I asked her what it's like, she just gave me a dirty look. So if you want to know more, you'll have to find her and make her like you, I guess. Good luck.
And Araya is the one who spoke about this daemon?
That's right. Told Aratak and the others that it lives up on Thunder's drum. And they believed him.
But you don't.
Look, I don't know what Araya found up there. A shaman's not going to talk to an outlander. The machines in the cut are getting more vicious, that's a fact. It could be because of the daemon, or it could be because they all got indigestion, for all I know. But Araya's not around to explain. She took off, and no one knows why.
Is Aratak a renowned warrior around here?
He's a Warwick chieftain. His voice carries a lot of respect. Not that you hear much of it. Man talks about as much as a dead fish. But when he and Araya came to town with their Warwick, it drew more Banuk to this little burg than I'd ever seen. Know what else I saw, Aloy? My own little trade route, stretching all the way back to the claim. Then, he goes and leads them off to their death at the claws of angry machines. So much for my best customers.
What are these Wericks about, Bergrand? Some sort of tribe within the tribe?
Not like our clans back home. You don't get born into these things. They hold tryouts. Prove your best at something and you might get a place. Some Wericks come and go. Some last as long as Melon. The whole Banuk territory, Banur, is just a bunch of the biggest, oldest Wericks.
I'm not sure if I'm less confused or more confused.
Well, here's the sure thing. Each Warwick has a chieftain and a shaman. They make the decisions. All well and good, except the chieftains are hard-headed, and the shamans have their heads in the clouds.
You said you've lived out here for 2 winters?
Aye. Back home, some fur traders told me about this still-forsaken heap of tents. Good location. Ripe for change. We were barely scraping by until this place started filling up for Araya. A great prophet is coming, they said. I heard prophet. Honest mistake. Not that the Banuk are stingy, they just prefer to keep trade among themselves. We could get through to enough of them. We could really put this place on the map. Or at least on a map.
We?
Me and my daughter. Assistant, Varja. My assistant and my daughter. We seem to get along better as business partners. Her mother wanted me to show her a trade. She started tinkering with weapons. Say, when you need a break from this Banuk carry-on, stop in and see her. You're both, how do I put it?
Women?
No. Independent. Look for her at Long Notch, the easternmost Banuk camp.
I want to know more about this daemon.
It's crazy talk, Aloy.
Or there's something to it. Something connected to how the machines behave.
Then you need to find Araya. She was last seen headed for the mountains they call the Ice Rats. I've heard only the shamans know the trail beyond those frozen peaks. But I do know where you could find her apprentice, Naltuk. He went north of the river, chasing rumors.
Rumors?
Not the good kind. Sudden attacks in the snow. Strange new structures. Some say a new machine, like no one's seen before.
Well, now I'm definitely interested. Thanks for the talk, Bergrund.
Don't mention it.
I wonder if Aratak... Araya or Thunder's drum.
I feel I've come home.
I do not want to hear this talk from you again. Doubt is heavier than a week's snow.
Forgive me, my chieftain. We will be ready for the next attempt.
But this will not be an attempt. It must be done. Do you understand?
My chieftain.
Good. Outlander, I suppose you wish to speak?
This Damon you talked about.
If you are hardy enough, you can venture out and see the signs yourself. It has changed the machines, made them fiercer, stronger.
But what is it?
A matter for the shamans to debate.
Did your Warwick come from this place?
No, he rallied most of our hunters from across Banur to face the threat of the demon. But I was born here and stayed to fight the Karja when others retreated into the mountains. A few of my old warriors remained with me, those who survived.
You're set on going back to the mountain?
I have put my word to it.
Even with the risks being so great?
The risk of what? Death? It would be a worse fate to bow our heads to the challenge and say too much.
There are other Warracks in Song's Edge too?
Yes. The village has its own life for all Banuk who need trade or shelter. After the war ended, it sprang up from what was once a campsite, quick as the bloom between frosts. Perhaps it will last until the Karja seek war again.
Oraya knows about this Damon. Where would I talk to her?
She does a shaman's work. That is not for the eyes and ears of others. Certainly not an Outlander's.
Well, I guess that's it then.
Good. Prefer deeds to words.
Right.
Great Warrack is put together like a machine. Each part serving a particular role. Even if I cared to travel south, I'd not get much farther.
You seem sad, stranger. I heard you mention a flood?
Yes. A sudden deluge, without rain or melt to explain it. I'm Lalai, the drummer of Deep Din. Or at least I was, until it disappeared under the waters.
Deep Din. What's that?
A hollow, carved out by the old ones. A chamber, a basin, and a musical instrument all at once. My life, my calling. I'd explain it by playing for you if I could. But its pipes are deep under the water now.
So Deep Din is a place, and a musical instrument?
Yes. Pipes that carry a perfect tone beneath a sonorous basin. A wondrous edifice the old ones used to carry music far and wide. During the war, my father played the pipes to rally the Banuk against the Karja. I'm the drummer now. But our battles are few and far between. Mostly I play for the joy of it. Or to remember my family. Of course, if the waters don't recede, what's the point of joy? Or remembering?
So the waters came fast.
One day it was dry. The next, the nearby river had risen and the entire basin was flooded. I don't understand it. There was no rain, not even any clouds, and yet the river rose higher than I'd ever seen it. And there it remains.
A flood without rain. That is strange. Where is this place? I'll have a look if I'm in the area.
Just northwest of here. Look all you like, but I don't see what good it'll do. The floodwaters aren't going anywhere. How does one ask a river to relent? Deep in. So...
You're looking strong.
When the old ones were fresh in their graves and our numbers were still small, it was she who led us through the frozen wastes. We also remember the ravenous tribe, who delighted in sucking the marrow from our broken bones. Everywhere Banukai and her Werak fled, the ravenous tribe were never far behind. Seeking a way to defeat them, Banukai went into the wastes and let the wind whip her cheeks. And when the cold brought sleep, she dreamt of light. She saw it behind the world, a great calming sheet of ice.
Listen and learn.
And she
Always
herds of machines, each filled with the same
I've no interest in the frozen torment. The living machines are what's important to the hunt.
Sakuli's painting progresses, I see. Wonder what it would look like in the end.
Quite a view you've got up here.
It's a useful perspective. How fleeting we are when the world is so wide. From up here, you can see how the light paints across the land. Ever changing. That's a lesson. All our marks will pass.
That outlook sounds a little depressing for a painter.
Haven't met many artists, have you? Song's Edge needs new stories. I scrubbed its past off this rock to start anew. But a new start needs new colors. Fresh pigments, like none have seen.
Have you always been a painter?
I've always painted. But I wasn't a painter until I was driven out of Banur. Up there, the markings are eternal. They paint over the same lines, the same colors, over and over. As a child, I learned from copying them. As I grew, my heart sank at the familiarity. All of us Banuk might as well be trapped in glacier ice. We have the look of life, but never really moving.
The Banuk rock paintings are impressive, but,
You want to know what they mean? That's not the right question, but I'll answer anyway. Some are called to the machines. The sacred shapes you see on metal casings, or on a cauldron door.
Do the machines listen to the call?
I don't know. Others, like mine, are called to the tribe. You could say inspiration or prophecy. And sometimes even men listen, if the painting is loud enough.
These pigments you want. Where should I look for them?
Salts gather at the edges of geysers and hot pools. Crystals cling to the rocks and cliffs.
I'll see what I can find for you.
Seek out the vibrant ones. A spring of sudden color among snow or rock or metal. That's its own reward. But I'd reward you as well.
When the old ones were fresh in their graves and our numbers were still small.
The Banuk.
Easier when I was a kid. Okay, if I want to learn more about how this daemon affects the machines, I've got to find Maria. To do that, I need to talk to her.
Outlander,
apprentice.
wait a
Over
moment.
north.
That weapon of yours, Outlander, that spear. I can see the blue light upon it.
This? It was made by an acquaintance of mine.
Ah, a shaman.
No. More of a tinker?
A tinker does not understand the spark in the metal, the song in the metal like this. But it could be improved upon, modified with the help of the old ones. Far north of here, there is a cave, a shaft in the snow. Within it is a nest of metal birds. Find a bird that hasn't been stripped by shamans past. Look for a rail inside it, the length of your spear. That's all I can tell you.
Get a rail from some metal birds in a cave. Sounds perfectly normal.
Any news from the hunt?
The herd isn't roaming far from the camp.
Keep them together this time.
Then we
To knock one of those over. They're built to last. In case I missed. A long time ago. Scavengers are just lost.
Come to me. Should scan the tall neck. See how deep the damage goes. Looks like the scavengers ripped out 3 major parts. If I could bring them back, maybe I could even reactivate it. Consider what's inside its head. Quick way down. one of the tall neck parts. It's heavy. Pass the test. Well, that fits. Sure hope it works. Well, it's in better shape than it was. Okay, if I'm right, I just need to get the power flowing through again. Nothing wrong, and at least no one's watching. That should wake you up. Seen how.
for jumping onto the top. Never cared for being pushed around.
Shitstorm Tour Day 4. It's hard to believe Metallurgic International used to be headquartered in this dreary old ziggurat. Wyatt's office was on the second floor from the top. If Emmett had a policy against workplace romances, he probably wrote it. Shitstorm Tour, Day 3. I was 13 when I broke in and vandalized this place. Me and that kid, I think his name was Star. It was my first arrest. A real banner day for the Mahdi family. What a messed up kid I was. Shitstorm Tour, Day 6. I was fresh out of rehab when we saw the metallurgists play the Hearts Wayfarers. The Emmett jersey looked pretty funny. Hopefully you're sorry. I came out here to die. But instead of overdosing at Wyatt's cottage, I went out walking along the water. I was standing right here when the idea hit me. And the moment it did, I knew I had to do it. Shitstorm Tour, Day 10. So here's where I learned how the world would end. My second apocalypse in a year. Looks like there's a lot of construction going on now. Why would that be? A pocket shitstorm tour. My father guest lectured here. A 300-level military history course on the age of human air power. Might as well have been teaching medieval siege tactics. I was 8 when he died.
Yes, I remember you. Did you find the vessels I seek? Yes, trade quickly. I have work to do. I will leave you to the hunt. Be sure to delve into the ruins.